brothers and sisters, every one of you who are here today and sit down and to listen to this khutbah, always remember that what you hear on this day might be our last. This khutbah that I give today, it's very difficult for me and perhaps every imam in the city. I chose this particular ayat from the Quran so that Allah Almighty can guide us in this time of crisis in which we live today. I'm sure that most of you have heard by now of the tragic death, the murder of one of our young Muslim brothers, 17 years old, Shu'aib Abdul Latif, who happens to be the son of one of the most prominent imams of in this country, the head of the Magistrate of New York, over 41 different imams, member of the Executive Council of the Islamic Society of North America, my good friend and companion, Imam Al-Amin Abdul Latif. You cannot imagine the difficulty when he called me Wednesday morning about 12:30, Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, past midnight, and told me that his son was dead and he wanted me to come over. And I went to his house and we sat down trying to find out what happened. He was shot by the police. Most of you, if not all of you, have read newspaper articles, New York Times, Newsday, the Post, the Daily News. You've listened to radio stations, seen the ABC, CBS, NBC, and maybe other reports. And there are a lot of things that people are saying. Today I would like to give an Islamic perspective for us, to give you some announcements and to see where do we go from here. I chose today's khutbah in memory of my young brother, Shu'aib. I knew him. We played basketball together in the summer. 17 years old. Now he's gone. Shot by the police. I chose this ayah from Quran, كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس. Allah says in Quran, you are the best of people evolved for mankind. تأمرون بالمعروف وتنحون عن المنكر وتؤمنون بالله. You enjoin what is right, you forbid what is evil, and you believe in Allah. You are the best of people evolved for mankind. I don't care to what degree our iman is right now, yet Allah tells us in the Quran we are in fact the best. And I want to leave you with that thought today as I begin to tell you about the death of our young brother and what we intend to do about it. You read in the newspaper that someone called the 75th Precinct on Sutter Avenue and said that there was a dispute between a man and a woman, and the man had a gun. And so the police came and went in one of the buildings on Williams Avenue. Brother Shu'aib was in the basement. And when he heard the woman's voice talking to the police, a woman that he knows, he came up from the basement, and he knows how policemen are, so he came up with his hands up in the air. And then when the woman, who's an eyewitness, saw one of the policemen like he was going to shoot. She said, "Don't shoot, don't shoot, don't shoot." And even the neighbors could hear it. And then the policeman shoot an unarmed young boy of 17 years old, and he died. The thing that I'm concerned about is the police. Many of you who don't or wasn't born in this country, you may not know the degree of the wickedness of some police. We don't say all of them. But one thing every policeman does in this city, and that is they cover each other's faults. They cover up. They call it the blue wall of silence. And if one of them commits a wrong deed, seldom would another police officer turn them in. So initially, the word went out that there was a gunfight in this building. There was a shootout between the police and the suspects, and one of the police officers was shot. That was the first initial story. They know that there was no gun, so they had to admit later that there was no gun, that this young man had no gun. So they had to change the story again. And the next story was that he attacked them. He lunged at them, and then they shot him. And then they changed the story again to say that there was, because if he lunged forward and they shot him, then how did the other police officer get shot? And then they changed the story again to say that this young Shu'aib attacked the police and was struggling with the police. You probably heard that report. And he got shot, and then somehow the other police officer got shot. You heard a lot of things. I tell you, brothers and sisters, traditionally the police in this city and in this country, what they do, usually they carry their gun and they carry an extra gun. And sometimes the extra gun is so that if they commit a crime and they shoot someone without a weapon, they take the extra gun and put on them. Sometimes police officers carry drugs, and so therefore if someone is shot, then they take the drugs and they plant the drugs on them. I must give credit to Imam Al-Amin Abdul Latif, because immediately he did what we're supposed to do, and that is to investigate. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا إن جاءكم فاسق بنبأ فتبينوا. O you who believe, when a wicked person comes to you with any news, ascertain the facts. I commend Imam Al-Amin Abdul Latif for sending out brothers for one purpose, to find the facts. He doesn't assume that his son is innocent. He wants to know the truth. A few weeks ago we stood before you in this member, and we mentioned that we must be people who defend the truth. So we wanted to know the truth. You are blessed and I are blessed in this masjid to have Brother Ali Abdul Karim, our security brother, and Brother Yahya from Masjid Mu'mineen. These two brothers were up in the morning while others slept, investigating, and the crew of brothers that they went in the area investigating, getting witnesses. One of the things that we were concerned about, when they brought out the body of Imam Brother Shu'aib, Imam's son, A'udhu Billah, he was brought out 45 minutes later. The ambulance didn't come until 45 minutes later, and when he came out, he was undressed. Why? Why did the police undress him? And why did the police spend 45 minutes with him down in the basement? What were they doing? And this woman who was the eyewitness, she said the police, after they shot him, they took her away, so she couldn't see what else was happening. And then when they took her to the precinct, they started putting suggestions in her mind, asking her, where did you say that he put the gun? This is the way they are. They don't look for truth. You see, brothers and sisters, I would feel better if the police would say, we made a mistake. I would feel better if the police said that we were in East New York and we are paranoid when African American youth come on the scene. We're scared, we're nervous, and therefore we prematurely shot and we were excessive. I would feel better. But rather than them telling the truth, they rather cover it up. They rather lie and then make the victim appear as if he's the culprit. So brothers and sisters, alhamdulillah, we've done our investigation. We continue to investigate, and we have professionals among us. When we contacted our lawyers, they commended Brother Ali Abdul Kareem and Brother Yahya for their excellent investigative work, because these brothers weren't trying to vindicate the Imam's son, they were trying to find and ascertain the facts. And now we believe that we have the facts. Brothers and sisters, the precinct the police came from is the 75th precinct. This is a notorious precinct where the policemen are known to be drug dealers themselves. Recently was exposed corruption in many police stations, especially in the 75th. They're known for taking bribes and looking the other way while people deal drugs. They're known for that and corruption. And so, what are we asking for? We're asking for justice. Now, brothers and sisters, tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. is going to be Salatul Janazah for Brother Shuaib. I want everybody there. Inshallah. It will be at Masjid Mufti Khalifa, Bedford Avenue and Fulton, Bedford Avenue and Madison, 120 Madison. We expect thousands of people from all over to come. We've gotten phone calls, not only Muslim leaders, Muslims everywhere, but leaders throughout the city who know of the police brutality and aggression against black youth. So you see all kinds of people there. The media, they're interested. We're with the Imam all day, and all the media came there because this appeared to be a sign of things to come from the administration of Giuliani, the new mayor of New York City. A few days ago, you may have heard me on the radio. Some of you may not have understood, speaking out against the intrusion of the police on the mosque on 125th Street. They got a phone call, they say, that there was a robbery taking place in Muhammad's Mosque on 125th Street and 5th Avenue. And so they came there. If anyone in this city knows that masjids are areas that the police cannot go into unless they get a supervisor and they speak to the one in charge. You don't go barging into a masjid. So they went into the mosque, and as you know by now, so they say 8 policemen were hurt. And the gun was taken from them. So anyway, myself and the imams from the Majlis Shura, we stood together with Minister Conrad Muhammad and other leaders in the community to denounce that. It doesn't mean that we have the same aqidah, we don't. We don't believe the same, but yet we must stand up for truth. Because Sunday is Muhammad's Mosque. Next time is Masjid Taqwa, Masjid Mu'mineen, Masjid Mufti Khalifa, Masjid Farooq, Masjid Dawood and State Street. So we must be a kind of people to stand up for truth. So therefore, this Sunday, they're having a rally at 2 o'clock, and they asked me to speak. And I spoke with the imams from the Majlis Shura, and I intend to go there to speak the truth, inshallah, because we must be people to stand up for truth. We want all of us, brothers and sisters, our youth, to come out tomorrow for the janazah of Brother Shuaib at 10 a.m. I would advise you to get there early. We expect thousands of people to be there. That's one of the signs that we're going to show to the city of New York. We're not going to stop there. You'll be getting an announcement, inshallah, that this Monday there's going to be a massive rally of Muslims in this city. Where the location is, inshallah, tomorrow at the janazah we'll give you the location. We expect Muslims from this city, from Philadelphia, from New Jersey, from Connecticut, from the surrounding areas to come with us when we have this demonstration and rally. We expect all of you to be there. Monday is a holiday. We want the men, the women, and the children to be there. And we're going to make an announcement, inshallah, that's going to shock the city. Because when the Muslims get involved, we believe that we represent the leadership. And we're going to show a sign to this city, bi-iznillah, this Monday. Inshallah, Imams are meeting nightly, all hours of the morning, planning this to be a special rally and demonstration unlike this city has ever seen. If we're going to be the leaders of this city, we must be different, we must be unique, we must be right, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be on our side, inshallah. So when we give the word tomorrow, we expect on Monday to have thousands and thousands of Muslims. If you can imagine 10,000 Muslims, 20,000 Muslims, 30,000 Muslims in front of the precinct, the 75th precinct, imagine 20,000, 30,000 Muslims there. So brothers and sisters, I close with this statement to you. كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس تأمرون بالمعروف وتنحون عن المنكر وتؤمنون بالله. You are the best of people, evolved for mankind. You enjoin the good, you forbid the evil, and you believe in Allah. Brothers and sisters, in the next few moments, I'm going to talk to us, especially the men. Brothers, I have a challenge for you and me. If Allah says in Quran, كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس, you are the best of people evolved for mankind, I have a challenge for you. What we saw in the death and the murder of our son, Shu'aib, on Tuesday, was a case of excessiveness on the part of the police. Police brutality. Excessiveness. If a person is doing something wrong, then the police have the responsibility to stop them. But they don't have the right, because they carry a gun, they don't have the right to use it in an unjust manner. When you have a gun, that represents power. But you cannot have a gun unless you have the responsibility of the gun. And realize that all life is sacred. As Muslims, we believe all life is sacred. I can't kill you because you're white. I can't murder you because you're a Jew. I can't kill you because you're an Arab or you're black or you're poor or you're rich. You don't have the right. And Allah orders in the Quran to kill no one that Allah has not ordered to be killed. I have a challenge for the men. Our brother, we believe, was murdered. We have our meeting tonight. Our lawyers will be here, and they will give all the details. Allah said in Quran, كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس. I want you to imagine if the Grand Rebbe, the rabbi, if his son was murdered by the police, what would the Jews in New York City do? They would have gotten by now an apology of the mayor of New York City. Why? Because the Jews represent power in New York City. They go to a precinct, they tear it down, and nobody will do anything about it because they represent power in this city. If the police think because Giuliani is in and the police can do what they want to do with anybody, if they're black and Hispanic, and we allow them to get away with it, then they'll never stop. We're saying, stop them now. We don't accept it. We don't accept murder. A young boy with his hand up and you execute him. Because life is cheap. Black life is cheap. And you got to understand that in this city. Full of racism, full of hatred. I found some words of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that I'm going to leave for you to think about. I got a challenge for the men. He said something 1400 years ago that I can't say, nor can you. He said, "Inna atqakum wa a'lamakum billah ana." He said, I, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, fear Allah more than any of you, and I know Allah more than any of you. Who could say that? That's a leader. What leader among us can say, I fear Allah more than any of you, and I know about Allah more than any of you? That's a leader. We can't say that. I can't say it. And you know what? The prophet wasn't bragging. He was speaking a fact. And I'm going to show you how. One night, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam got out of his bed. Yes, he slept. He's a messenger, but he's a human being. He slept. But he got out of his bed early in the morning before Fajr, and he started to pray. Extra prayer. Salatul Isha? No. Salatul Fajr? No. Somewhere in between Salatul Layl. And his wife, Aisha radiallahu anha, she witnessed it. Brother, his wife witnessed him getting out the bed, praying extra prayer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and she said he prayed so long that his feet began to crack. And when he finished, she, Aisha radiallahu anha, said, Ya Rasulullah, lima tasna'u hadha? Lima tasna'u hadha, Ya Rasulullah? Why do you do this? Why? When Allah has already forgiven you from your sins of the past and of the future. Why? Lima tasna'u hadha? Why do you do that, Ya Rasulullah? Why? And he said, and I quote, أَفَلَا أُحِبُّ أَنْ أَكُونَ عَبْدًا شَكُورًا. Should I not be a thankful servant? Here he is. إِنَّ أَتْقَاكُمْ وَأَعْلَمَكُمْ بِاللَّهِ أَنَا. I see Allah and I know Allah more than you. Yet he doesn't stop there. He goes beyond because he's a leader. And he's worthy of leadership. And he can say, I know Allah more than you. How many of us can say that even in our own home? I know Allah more than my wife, more than my children. How many of us can say, I fear Allah more than my own children? How many of us? But I'm not going to stop there. I wanted to know, how long did he stay in his prayer? The feet began to crack. I didn't understand. Well, how long must that be? Until I read Ibn Mas'ud. Ibn Mas'ud said one night the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was standing in prayer, and he decided to join him. And so now here's an extra prayer. This is not Fajr prayer. This is not Isha. It's extra prayer. And so he decided to join him. And he said the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam prayed so much he started to get out of the salat and stop following. I can't do it. Why can't you do it? إِنَّ أَتْقَاكُمْ وَأَعْلَمَكُمْ بِاللَّهِ أَنَا. I know Allah, I fear Allah, I know Allah more than any of you. But I'm not going to stop there. And when I read Hudhayfa ibn Yaman, now I understand. I understand now. He decided to follow the Prophet one night in prayer. Extra prayer. And so the Prophet Muhammad stood up, and Hudhayfa stood up to pray behind him. And the Prophet Muhammad began, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Surah Al-Fatiha. Then Alif Lam Mim, Dhalikal Kitabu La Rayba Fi, Huda Lil Muttaqin. He began to recite Surah Al-Baqarah, the second chapter of the Quran. And as he recited, Hudayfa said, I thought that he would go and read 100 verses and then he would stop. So he's following him. So the Prophet read 100 verses of Surah Al-Baqarah, but he kept on reading and kept on reading, kept on reciting until the Prophet recited the whole of Surah Al-Baqarah. But the Prophet didn't stop there. He started Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Then he recited Surah An-Nisa. And he recited the whole chapter, man. You who get in your prayer, Bismillah Rahman, Alhamdulillah, and Hudayfa said that when he recited slowly. And everywhere there was a prostration, he prostrated. Everywhere it said to say subhanallah, the Prophet said subhanallah. Everywhere where it said I seek refuge from shaitan, the Prophet recited that in the salah. But he didn't stop there. Then he recited Ali Imran, the third chapter of Quran. So Surah Al-Baqarah, Surah An-Nisa, Surah Ali Imran. And then Allahu Akbar, finally. He went to ruku. He bowed down. Subhan Rabbil Azim. Subhan Rabbil Azim. How long did he stay there? Hudayfa said he stayed in that position as long as the length of his qiyam. This is our leader. Who can dare challenge him? And then after being ruku for that long, for the length of recitation of Al-Baqarah and Nisa and Ali Imran, and Allahu liman hamida, and he stood in this qiyam as long as his ruku. And then he went down in sajda and stayed in his sajda as long as his qiyam, as long as his ruku, as long as his qiyam, as long as he stayed in the sajda. Who can challenge Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam for leadership? Now I close with this. I can't challenge you. Not me. I can't say to you, I know Allah more than any of you. I don't. I can't say I have more taqwa than any of you. I can't say that. But today I will leave you with this statement. Have more taqwa and more fear of Allah and more knowledge of anybody in this society, and now we must show it. Kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat lin-nas. I don't need no policeman watching over me. A policeman watch me. We don't need no policemen to watch us. I challenge the men. If you want to blame a police officer for brutalizing a person, then that must mean we will never brutalize our wives. I don't want our women on the phone calling 911. Help me, my Muslim husband is beating me up. I don't want these sisters calling the policemen on you because you got a gun and she's afraid you're going to shoot her. Police yourself. We must police ourselves. And we must show the people, not talk, not speak, but we have to prove our righteous leadership. That's what I'm asking for in this community, and in this city. We must become leaders. Not to be seen, but leaders in the home, leaders of righteousness, leaders of knowledge. That's what we must be. And our wives and our children must look at us and look toward us for guidance, not to be afraid of us. We must take the leadership in this city. They're waiting. And you know what? Can nobody out there match us? Oh, they can make a lot of noise. But who else? When a speech is given made and it's time for prayer, who else get up from the speech and go make their prayer? Who else in the street you see them making prayer? Who else in the park you see them making prayer? Who else in the airlines you see them making prayer? Who else do you see them fasting every month, every year, the month of Ramadan? Who else do you see women wearing long dresses? Our women are the best and most righteous, and we are the most righteous bi'idhnillah. But now we must go out there and give the leadership, because nobody has it but us. But we got to do it. And that means the little brothers here. You must become example. In your building, you must be able to say, Inna atqakum wa alamakum bilahana. In your building in East New York, you must be able to say, I know Allah and I fear Allah more than anybody in this building. In Flatbush, in Canarsie, in Queens, wherever you are, you must be the leadership on your block, the leadership in your school, the leadership in your neighborhood, and give the guidance to the people. And you can't be the moral leader, brother, if you sitting down with non-believers smoking reefer and shooting crack and taking crack with them. You can't be the leader, brother. You sitting down there with a wine bottle trying to give dawah to a non-believer. You can't be the leader. You can't be the leader, brother, if you go in the hallway with a young sister, rapping to the sister, and instead of turning her to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you try to get your lust over that woman. You can't be the leader if you're running around the behinds of these women. You can't be the leader. You're the leader when you stand up and say, sister, if you want to be with me, you got to marry me, because I don't play that. I don't play drugs, and I don't play no women. Get out of my face. That's the kind of leadership that they need here. And you know what? If you do that, they respect you. But they don't respect you if you act like everybody else. You in the face of these women like everybody else, and she know what you want. You can talk that Islamic talk, but she knows you. For sure or no, sister, I'm a Muslim, and I fear Allah, and I know Allah. You want me to teach you this religion? I'll teach it to you. But I don't play that stuff. Leadership. Kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat linnas. You're the best of people evolved for mankind. Show it. Prove it. So this Monday, when we ask you to come, I want you to come. And finally, this case of our Imam and his son Shu'aib, may Allah have mercy on his soul, it's going to cost money. We want to raise money to help the defense fund. So in every masjid in the city right now, there's a box just for the defense fund. When you leave today, you're going to give a donation to the masjid, and you're also going to give a donation, inshallah, to the defense fund for our Imam. Because it's not only his son, but we're going after the whole thing in this city, and we're going to stop the injustices not only against an Imam, son, or against a Muslim, but against anybody. We will be those who stand up for justice in this society. You see, inshallah. And you know what? They made a bad mistake when they started messing with the Muslims. Because if we ever got ourselves together, if we really ever got ourselves together, these individual brothers here especially, and the women, if we ever got ourselves together, this city will be ours. Believe me, if we just wake up and be ourselves, just be righteous, because the power that we have, believe me, is not a gun. We have power more powerful than the gun. It's righteousness. This country is falling because of immorality. You want to defeat it? Defeat it with righteousness. That's what it is. And believe me, one day, they'll give this city to us. Really. Really. Inshallah. If you study the Quran, that's where it is. Allah inherit the land, the righteous. But our righteousness must be upfront. كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر وتؤمنون بالله. We ask you, O Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to forgive us our sins and have mercy on the soul of our departed brother Shu'aib Abdul Latif. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless the family of Imam Alamin Abdul Latif, strengthen the Ummah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to raise among us righteousness, righteous men and women and children, and make us righteous leaders in this society. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وعلى ذريات محمد وسلم تسليما كثيرا. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا وأخطأنا. ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته الذين من قبلنا. ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. والحمد لله رب العالمين.